And welcome back to the second half of the SAS College Rugby League Pennant Grand Final from Mount Smart Stadium number 2. Corey Rosser joined in commentary by Troy Hardy, who's making his way back to the microphone. And we've got Southern Cross kicking off to get us back underway. And it's a big high one down towards the right and the tough one under the floodlights. Troy, it's not a bad option really. Anytime you can employ the high ball. These guys aren't used to playing under lights, so it's a pretty good option.
Absolutely. And I think also too, there's a couple of other factors that come into it, having, you know, a loud crowd yelling you on, playing on the big stadium and the big stage, and playing in a grand final. So you add all those things together, and the difference between winners and losers will be the ones that keep their heads, play with patience, and complete their set of 6.
Beautifully said, Troy, as Manurewa make it back to the halfway line now. 3-man tackle from Southern Cross. Plenty of aggression in defence. That was a theme throughout the first half as well. Head out towards the left edge now and a kick back towards the middle of the park. And they've caught the fullback, Fisitalia, out of position a little bit. The chase is really good from Rewa and they drive him back about 3 metres. So great enthusiasm from both sides here. This is a high quality game to date. Not a lot of mistakes. It's been a really good watch through the opening 25 minutes. 23 to go, 10 points to 2. Manurewa lead, and just as I say that, I put the mocker on them. There's an error out of dummy half.
True that.
So Rewa to pack down a scrum right on the 20-metre line, 20 out from their own try line.
And a little bit of a breeze coming through again. It's been oncoming into the commentary box here across the field. Probably a little bit if you're watching at home or on your iPad, smartphone, left to right on the screen. And Manurewa are out and off.
So an early trip out towards the right. Rewa now will get the big men involved. Your try scorer from earlier, Tyrone Siwa, really changed the game since he came into it actually. Plenty of impact off the bench. Out towards the left now. There's a bit of space here if Rewa can work it, but instead ducks back inside, perhaps just running out of field at the end there. Met in a good tackle by Southern Cross. So tackles up their sleeves now. Manurewa, what can they do with it? The chant goes up. Dummy half dart just short of the line. Good attention to detail from Southern Cross. They hold on. Out towards the left again. It's another dummy half. He's over the line. I'm not sure if he's got the ball down. Held up is the call, despite Rewa appealing for the try. And it's a great call in the end by the referee as well. You can see there the ball was hoisted up. Great positioning.
She's one of our better referees in the Auckland Rugby League Referees Association. If you are wanting to be a referee, log on to the Auckland Rugby League website, aucklandleague.co.nz. Anyone who's interested in wanting to become a referee, there's a whole structure and network there. Log on, sign up.
And just as you mentioned the referees there, Troy, we see an error from Manurewa late in the tackle count. A drop ball 10 metres out from the line. Southern Cross to work this one out.
Went past the first defender there. Southern Cross getting ready to settle again. One of the big units. Manurewa out of the line fast there, missed his target. Having to slot back in. A little bit more energy now on the Manurewa side. Oh, a little bit of a slip there by the Southern Cross settler. And a little chip downfield. Fine space. Great ball.
And it's got, I think it may have been an attempted 40-20. Rewa have had to play with it. The number 2 at the back there for Manurewa, Saivasi, he has had to play at it, and Southern Cross are going to get a scrum feed here. So Troy, that's a huge play. A great kick there. Late in the tackle count, just catches Manurewa napping. I think it was going to be a 40-20, and hence the reason Manurewa have had to play at it. So Southern Cross, congratulations. There's a bit of smarts for you. And of course, we talk about the smarts that the Southern Cross team's got. Rob Ratu's their coach. He's the man who's come in and helped the Otahu Leopards try and avoid relegation. Of course, they face a must-win game against Mount Albert on the weekend, but Rob is a vastly experienced coach. He's been involved with the Vodafone Warriors and their development, and also the head coach, I believe, of the county's Manukau Stingrays as well. So
yes.
they've got a great man in charge there, and what an asset he is to a team like this. And you see there possibly just those little things that good coaches instill in you, smart kicks at certain points of the game, and that could well prove to be a crucial one.
And he'd command a lot of respect with the boys, especially at this age. Rob's done a lot of great things down there at Otahu.
As we look now, Southern Cross have found space on the left. Manurewa scramble well, get there in numbers, they hold them out.
And it's right over on the far side of the field from where we're standing. Corey's just gone to binoculars.
Head back towards the middle now, and this is the big number 16 for Southern Cross. Marve
Play
Manukia
the ball.
directly in front of the sticks now. They head back towards the right, and the 13 gets involved. That's Kaikoa Togiua. They miss him out. The number 7 scoops it up.
Don't know if going back on the inside was the play there. They had 2-3 out here on this edge.
That's right, yeah, you think they probably had the numbers there, so possibly just a little bit too conservative there. The big number 8 with a strong carry forward. It's Aga Leomafa, Counties Manukau under-18s representative. Now, one out to the left. Good first up contact from Manurewa, and again, it's been a recurring theme through this game. Great work from them, but a penalty. So all that hard work, Troy, and then the penalty, and they'll have to defend another 6. That's a bit of a heartbreaker for Manurewa and Southern Cross now. They need to be patient.
Couple of Southern Cross players down there warming up online. Tackle pads are out. Looks like a big winger coming into play. I think that's the number 5.
So Rudy Sifa with the first carry now. They come out.
Number 15, is it? Big unit coming
Marfa
on.
carries towards the sticks and entering the fray now. Big Rudy Sifa out wide.
Great tackle.
Big dumping tackle, almost up above the horizontal. Nothing wrong with that, just a good tackle. Well done to Manurewa. Attention to detail again at dummy half. It looks like he may have bounced through. We try and get
She likes to look a bit.
the jersey number for you there. I think it may have been the number 9, Samuela Lahangoa. Sneaking over from dummy half, so a crucial try there for Southern Cross, which is going to get this game back to 10 points to 6. Kick to come. We could have a 2-point ball game on our hands. Great work there from Southern Cross, Troy. It all started with the good kick, which forced Manurewa to hit the ball into touch, and then patience from there. Got back-to-back sets, and they knew that eventually they'd wear Manurewa down. Good to see some patience from these young fellas.
No, I agree with you, and couldn't, you know, in regards to the kick that you talked about, I think that's what they got the back of their momentum off. There was a great kick. It got them down inside the 20. From that, they mounted a wee bit of pressure, you know, attacked the line. They were repelled 2, 3, 4 times. Then finally, bang, they put one in. And let's hope the young fella's successful with the kick here. There'll only be a 2-point spread on it as we get ready to go back for a restart. Southern Cross kicker addressing the ball.
Siave Togiua, and no mistake from the right of the post. So 10 points to 8. We have a game on our hands just like the earlier one, which was decided by a try in the final minutes. We've got another thriller on our hands here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2 tonight for the SAS College Rugby League Pennant Grand Final between Manurewa and Southern Cross Campus.
Let's hope no one does the Greg Inglis and go for a drop goal and think there's 2 points in it to try and tie it up.
That's right. We saw a peculiar field goal choice earlier in the game, which actually, in hindsight, would have been huge for them. It was I believe,
fizzle.
Papatoe up 10-0 late in the first half. They went for the drop goal with tackles up their sleeves. It was a strange old call, but in hindsight, could have been vital in that game. But in the meantime, we will get back to action as we watch. Good to see a contingent of local media turn out to cover this one. Of course, plenty of interest in the SAS College Rugby League competition. We see lots of stars come through this competition and go on to bigger and better things. So great to see some photographers and journalists as well out watching the games today. Don't get too cold, boys. Who's
your favourite that's come through the College Rugby League program, Corey? Who's one of your top players?
Well, look, it's hard to pick out a favourite, I guess, but probably the most well-known ones we can bring up being Elijah Taylor, who, of course, has played for the Kiwis, came through the St. Paul's College system when Mark Rice was the principal there. Roger Tuivasa Shek, who played at the National Secondary Schools Tournament for Otahu College and really got his breakout there. And I guess those are the two probably most well-known ones. There's a number more coming through the ranks now. David Fusitua from Kelston, Tuimoa Lola here from Kelston as well. So lots of great talent on display, and of course, you know, Auckland in particular, just an endless supply of rugby league talent, which feeds not only the Warriors these days, but the whole NRL competition. So Perhaps we are seeing a few of them on display right now in this game, with Manurewa leading Southern Cross 10 points to 8 with 15 minutes remaining. Manurewa are going to play the ball 20 metres out from the line, and a little break from the wind for the time being. And as you mentioned, Troy, I think it kind of disperses to different parts of the stadium, which means that probably no team is getting a full advantage of the wind at any point. It kind of is moving around, so there's all those different things to kind of factor in, especially if you're a fullback or a winger.
Interesting to note too, as we're down here standing in the commentary box, as we gaze across the field to the left-hand side there, over to the number 3 park, it looks like the big units, the big teams have completed their warm-ups, maybe a little bit chilly now, and they're having their last of their team chats as they're getting ready for the grand final here this evening. Brought to you live on aucklandleague.co.nz live stream for this evening. Or if you're still in town and you're out and about, come down and join us. Mount Smart number 2, $2 to get in. It's going to be some fantastic action on here tonight.
Manurewa take a look down the left, and just talking about that game, Troy, no matter how you're going to watch it, whether you're here at the stadium or on the live stream, make sure you watch it. It's going to be a great game. But in the meantime, Manurewa have coughed up an error, so Southern Cross now, they can smell blood in the water. 13 minutes to go, it's 10 points to 8. Manurewa with a slight advantage at this stage, but Southern Cross with plenty of momentum coming back, and it's a good first up carry from the number 3 for Noah Tohi, the right centre for the side. Into dummy half now, and they come out. There's only 2 players out here on the open side. There's a Rewa player down and back play, and it's the benchman Tyrone Siwa, who we gave a rap to earlier. He really changed the game with his momentum, and as that's going on, I think we've come up with an error, and we'll have a little stoppage in play here while Siwa is dealt to in back play.
And you can always tell the College Rugby League is avidly followed by not just the fans, the mums, the dads, all the supporters, you know, that come to watch these night games and throughout the whole season. But you also notice when the NRL agents turn up, and there's a few of them here tonight, and they're having a look-see at the talent that's on display. And you know, it's part of their job to look at the youth coming through, identifying opportunities, giving them, you know, the chance to develop or to have a career path in sport. And with the number of them down here tonight, that just reassures us that, you know, there's in for a big match, massive match this evening against Wesley. First time in the competition. They're there, in my view, by athleticism. I hope I pronounced that right. They've got some big units there. They've got speed, they've got size. Up against St Paul's though, St Paul's have got structure, they've got expertise, they've been there for some time. It's going to be interesting to see how this one goes off this evening, Corey.
Yeah, a great battle against, I guess, the old hand and the new pups in the competition, and it's really pleasing to see Wesley come through. A team made up mostly of guys who didn't make the first 15 Rugby Union team, and which is perfect proof that these two sports can coexist peacefully with each other. It doesn't have to be about Rugby Union versus Rugby League. They're two great games and they can coexist. So a big thank you to Wesley College for taking the initiative to enter this competition, and to the rest of the, I guess, traditional Rugby Union schools out there who haven't entered this competition yet. Where are you guys? Come down, join in. It's a great competition, and it's a great opportunity for some of your boys to show themselves on the big stage and further themselves in sport.
Absolutely. And, you know, if there is surplus, if there is something that, you know, somebody wanting to have an opportunity to play at the highest level, and, you know, they can't quite make the first 15, or for that matter, make the first 13 and, you know, back playing rugby, there's a lot of interchange that happens between the two codes. And, you know, if your college is thinking about it, we'll encourage them to get involved with the SAS College Rugby League First 13 here in the Auckland competition. Back to the main action. As
play resumes, Tyrone Siwa has limped off the field here. He's having a chuckle, so hopefully it's nothing too serious. He is carrying a nasty limp, so all the best to Tyrone there, and in your recovery, mate. Whatever has happened, looked like it may have been a knee injury. Southern Cross now giving away a penalty, so this is turning into a real arm wrestle here, and you get the feeling that both teams looking for someone to bring something special out of the hat. Bust this game open. It's very tight as we speak. It's very physical in the middle. It's a forward-dominated encounter to date. As Manurewa kick for touch, so they'll start this set 40 metres out from their line. A bit of a test here for Southern Cross.
Well, we're talking about pulling things out of a hat. Let's make sure it's a nice, big, woolly, warm one. Put it on and come down and join us here at Mount Smart number 2.
So Manurewa now to start this one, and first of all, that'll be the big boy bringing onto the ball. I think it's the number 8, Viliami Siwa. And Joshua Rue into dummy half. Out towards the left, and it's an easy dropped ball, and now Southern Cross with a good chance with a broken field, but Rewa take him down early, so errors now starting to creep into this one. We mentioned it is very cold, it does affect the hands, how well the fingers move, so perhaps that's playing a part here. There's plenty of cameras flashing in the background here. A good crowd now starting to fill out Troy, and I imagine
Great tackle.
by the time the big one is ready to go, we're going to have almost a full house here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2. So great to see this competition being well supported as Southern Cross now work up towards the 40-metre line. Into dummy half, it's Rue. Apologies, it's Lahangoa. Spilt ball out the back now, and Rewa now get it into a bit of broken play, but Southern Cross scramble well to take him down. Just short of halfway, so errors from both sides now.
Great run against the grain of play there. Bumping, turning, twisting.
And this is a really good carry from the
great 10 metres.
Big number 10,
side to side.
Muti Matilava, attracting plenty of defenders, and another good carry this time. Leading the tackle for Southern Cross, Arapeta Barker, the number 7. They head out towards the left edge now, and they're getting numbers in the tackle, Southern Cross, and they need to, because these Manurewa boys are fighting for extra yardage. Back towards the 6 now, and it's another big carry. This time it's the 10. Again, Matalave. The chance going up here. The Manurewa faithful getting involved. Out towards the left now. There's space here. In behind if they can get there. Southern Cross scramble to cover. It looks like he may have scooped it up. We wait for confirmation. Just short. Just short. So now head out towards the right. The halfback gets his hand on the ball now, and it's a spread towards the right. They are short out here if they can get the ball there. Takes it to the line instead, and that'll be a handover, Troy, and I think you're right. Probably should have let that one go. They had a 3-on-2.
Bit of a chat going on. And away we go.
Manurewa with the 1 marker. Up out of the line quick, a legs tackle, but don't wrap up the offload. So second phase play from Southern Cross, and it's good second phase play as well. And in the end, the number 9, Lahungoa, makes a good quality break, and he's met in a big first up tackle. Both sides just trading blows here. I'm glad I'm not taking the next hit up. This is fierce stuff out there on the Mount Smart Stadium number 2 pitch. Good carry forward there, and he fights to get the markers off. Wants that quick play of the ball. The 10 with a good carry. This is Philip Sliva. He's been impressive today, the big fella. Early kick now. They'll head out towards the left, and again trying to catch that winger too far up, but it's just too deep. So not a bad option there from Southern Cross, electing to kick earlier in the set and try and catch those wingers up. So you get the feeling Southern Cross right now producing probably the more professional of the play, but with 8 minutes to go, they've got to find points soon.
Absolutely. 2 points in the game. It could be anybody's match. And at this point in time, you know, as you said, there's only about 8 minutes left to go. And it'll be interesting to see what happens. There's a wee bit of camping going on down here in Manurewa's half. The only time we've seen them in this passage of play is against the grain. They've managed to break out a couple of times, but we find ourselves back inside Manurewa territory, although that's not a bad little bustling run that we see from the Manurewa team.
So far this one for the purists. It's been an arm wrestle in the middle of the park. We've seen some skill from both sides, but it's been a game headlined by defence, which is great to see at this level. Plenty of attention played, and both these sides well coached. A chip over the top here, and they've got space. He's got the speed. This is the number 2.
Him out. He's on the line.
Seni Turi, but it's going to be called back. You're quite right, Troy. Foot on the line. It looked like he'd got away from everyone. He'd beaten all the covering defence, but just putting the foot into line. So great work from the linesman there, picking that one up. Fantastic work from our ARL referees here.
He was right there on the spot, and there's only one, maybe half footprint in it, and he called it straight away. And that's probably a little bit of an opportunity gone begging, but just feeling a little bit of the tide changing there, a little bit of momentum starting to shift. And again, first time out for Manurewa down here inside the 20.
Yeah, it's good to see Manurewa chance their arm there a little bit. They obviously, probably could have gone with the conservative approach there, but you get the feeling maybe 10 points won't win this one, so they might need more. So it was a good option, really, and as you say, Troy, only a couple of centimetres in it, stopping them from a great try. One of the better tries we would have seen certainly tonight. So Southern Cross now will work it off their line out towards the left.
Great bump.
And it's a great initial bump off, but what about the recovery from Manurewa? Doing it well, and the crowd are erupting here. Plenty of excitement going on here at Mount Smart. Number 2, it's a huge hit.
Great hit.
Huge hit. Out of the line, and I think it's going to be called an illegal hit, in fact. Just a little bit high there, Troy, but boy, that was big impact.
I don't know, he sort of went down, stayed down, a little bit of Hollywood, then got up and wanted to have the chat, and now he's looked like he's all set, ready to go. And I won't be surprised if he's the first settler.
Easy for us to call to Hollywood up here from the comfort of the commentary box, perhaps.
Of the igloo.
It looked like a fairly good hit to me, so I'll side with the young fella from Southern Cross there on this occasion, but I won't argue too much with my commentary partner. He does have the size advantage over me, so we work it out now. Southern Cross about 45 metres out from their own line. And this one, just a brutal encounter, and that last hit perfectly illustrating that. Good play there. This is the number 8 for Southern Cross. Liam Arthur, the Counties Monaco under-18s representative.
By that little front row, he got his head down, low centre of gravity, got under the first tackle.
And Troy, if we look towards the end of the set, what option are you looking at? You're going to bomb? Are you going to put the kick in behind? What's the best option?
Well, actually, to be fair, I haven't seen Southern Cross put good kicks up in this game. Manurewa's had all the kicking class so far. And at this point, just off that last fumble, has she called that, sorry, Antoinette called that back to 1?
We're playing on this side, so Fissy Taylor has crabbed across field, and now it's all going away a little bit, but there's broken field here. It has been called back.
It up.
Has been called back, so Manurewa, again, good defence.
I think to answer your question there would have been patience and to hold it for 6. At that point in time, we're only sitting on about the 3rd tackle.
And Troy, we've called so many of these games this year where I guess we've pointed out poor completion rates from both sides. It's a big issue with younger players, isn't it, in terms of trying to get them to complete sets and play that smarter brand of footy, and usually the team that does it best gets the result.
And look, I think youth and experience, wanting to get in, wanting to have a go. Everyone's throwing the pass, throwing the backdoor pass out the side, big cutouts, all the rest. They're enjoying themselves, and that's what this football's all about. And sometimes, they just need a little bit of patience, like you said.
And we've got an impromptu haka starting over in the stands, so great to see. Plenty of passion and character from the supporters of both teams here today. They've been well supported, Southern Cross and Manurewa, so a big thank you to the fans that have turned out. It's not an easy night to be a footy fan. It's cold down here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2, but they've been treated to an absolute thriller so far as Manurewa now head out towards the left edge. And Troy, we've seen them probably target this Southern Cross right edge defensively. They've kind of looked likely a couple of times in behind. You think that's possibly where they'll go again at the end of the set?
Mate, I'm liking the halves there, the long-headed fellow who's just tucking the ball now. He's kicked well tonight, and he's just sort of trailing in behind the play there, and I won't be surprised if he gets asked the question again of sort of dropping into space. Oh, look at the run!
Nice Corey, look at the run! Now, and there could be a try on there here, but a good offload, but it's recovered by Southern Cross. We wait to see which way the knock-on has gone there. I'm not too sure who that's gone against. The ball spilled out. So we will wait for confirmation.
I think he got out into open space there, and that surprised half the team, and they're sort of, still coming down on him. He's making decisions of whether he's going to offload or go the distance. So now another opportunity to regather, regroup, reproduce another opportunity.
And the champion minutes of this grand final have arrived. We're into the final 3 minutes. This SAS College Rugby League Pennant Grand Final between Southern Cross and Manurewa High School. Part of a 3-game extravaganza here at Mount Smart Stadium number 2 tonight. And an early audacious play, a chip over the top. They've got the speed. Someone take it out in back play. Looks like it was okay. So not a bad option there from Southern Cross. Very nearly caught the...
Best kick for this half for them.
Yeah, very nearly caught Manurewa unawares there, but well recovered in the end by Manurewa.
Still getting back too, Chief. They're still coming back.
This game's had a bit of everything. It's been a brutal encounter, but we've seen some great skill on display, and particularly a couple of really good kicks from Southern Cross. We saw them boot a 40-20 that had to be intervened by Manurewa, earned them the ball back earlier in the half, and then a good little play early off a scrum there in that one. Even caught the commentary team by surprise, so great work. And play will pause here for an injured player. And I believe we do have time off. The clock's still ticking here at the stadium, but I believe our official match manager's clock will be paused, so we'll have a little bit of a gap between those two clocks.
And as we've said earlier today, as people rolled in to start viewing us on the live stream through the aucklandleague.co.nz, is to make sure you catch up with the Maori television games this weekend. Lots of football on around Auckland. There's some massive clashes on. Good to see Papakura Seagulls up against Glenora Bears, and that'll be at home. And Glenora want to stay on the top four, and Papakura Seagulls, you know, they've dropped one this year and only one, and they'll want to be keeping their momentum as they head into the grand finals.
So a good, really good carry there, and the crowd are riding it now, and we are entering territory now where you would think the next points wins this one. Manurewa have the 2-point advantage at this stage. That doesn't mean a lot, because Southern Cross have shown that they've got some surprise players in them. Now Moala, Troy highlighted him earlier, heads back towards the blind side, and a smart play from the young fella there. The long head, number 7, kicks it into touch. That's going to chew up another 30 seconds on the clock. We believe we have around about probably just over a minute remaining in this SAS College Rugby League Pennant Grand Final. So Southern Cross in a rush to pack the scrum and get things back underway. This is huge now. It's going to be Southern Cross's last use of the ball. One set to win a grand final for Southern Cross.
Make it or break it. This is what it all comes down to. Be interesting to see what sort of conversations happening down there on the field, Corey. Who's called for it? Is there a move on? Are they going for the settle? Hard and fast, or chipping into the back?
And it's the early kick, and he's into space out here. The winger chips it, taken out in back play. Player's still on. He's regathered the ball. Here we go. We are set for a thrilling finish to this match as the clock expires.
Play the ball, play the ball.
Siren goes to the back play. One play, darts out of dummy half. Need to keep this alive, but that is the game. Manurewa High School are your 2016 SAS.
I don't know if she's called it and they've run onto the field.
College Rugby League champions. We may get one extra play here, as you mentioned, Troy, but I think that'll be it. And indeed, that is it by the look of things. So congratulations, Manurewa High School. Deserving winners of this one in a brutal encounter. 2-point winners over Southern Cross campus. It was a great game from both teams. It started with fireworks with the pre-match haka. It ended with fireworks. And as the Manurewa boys now run over to embrace their crowd, great to see. I'm not too sure the groundsman will be so happy about the boots on the running track there, but great to see the passion in this game. So well done to both sides. Plenty of upset bodies out there for Southern Cross, but Rob Ratu, their coach,